Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to the MindCrack server, to Turber, Burderber, Suburber. Yes, welcome back to the MindCrack server. We are right pretty much where we left off, having just been at the controls of my 6-year-old nephew, Goober. We're just outside of the Earl of Sandwich. Take a good look. Like I said, probably one of my proudest and most intricate build on the server thus far. A lot of cool things going on here. Obviously an ode to the Earl of Sandwich, located at Disneyland Paris, where the MindCrack folks had many a meetings and lunch and poorly mixed salad for the gluten insensitive of us. At the Earl of Sandwich, but here it is in the shadow of BOO's arena and town. But we're going to take a little bit of a detour. There's one other build that I am extremely proud of, but I never even completed half of. That is the missile silo of perpetual incompletion. I've decided finally something to do with that, and it has nothing to do with any missile silos or missiles or anything. So I have a bunch of pretty substantial items here. I'm gonna head over there. I just didn't I in the previous episode just transfer a bunch of stuff from there over to here? Oh well. Our minds, they constantly change. But yeah, welcome back to MindCrack. An official episode here, episode 46 or 47. I think this is episode 47. Crap, hold on. 46! This is episode 46, guys. I got confused. I was a little bit... Here, let me talk about... Since it's the talk of the town, the previous video I had up from the MindCrack server, I let my nephew, who wishes to be called Goober, behind the controls. He wanted to make his own YouTube video commentary, and I decided not to include that in the sequence of actual MindCrack episodes. I figure it's kind of a special thing. It's not in the same theme of the rest of my MindCrack episodes, which are mostly me just walking around talking and building things. Rarely building things, rather. So that is just its one-off thing. And I changed the title. First of all, I did not at all expect it to be that. It's literally my most popular video thus far. The first episode of Far Lands or Busts, my Kerbal Space Program videos, all just pale in comparison to the Minecraft with Goober. I noticed in the first half hour it had 1,000 likes. It right now has over 13,000 likes. My next most liked video, which I believe is one of the first Kerbal Space Program videos, only has 6,000. Well, only. That's still an amazing amount as well. But, wow. Thank you, everybody new who has found my channel thanks to that. I know Dinnerbone tweeted it out and stuff like that. But I mentioned when I noticed things were getting a bit out of hand with that, I changed. The title was first MindCrack, but then a lot of people were just finding the video and they didn't quite know what MindCrack was, and they thought it was a misspelling of Minecraft or something like that. So I just decided to call it Goober Plays Minecraft. And it just incidentally happens to take place on the MindCrack server. So... So yeah, that's the reason for that, but I'm glad everybody enjoyed that. Yeah, like I said, I didn't expect that at all. If I had known, I would have like scheduled it better. I like just put it up at like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, just like randomly. Here's a video. But yeah, that was all the idea of Goober. His real name is not Goober, but I told him before we started recording, I'm like, we need to think of a gaming name for you on the internet. You can't use your real name. And as if he already had the idea in his head, he didn't even think about it. He's like, Goober. All right, you are now Goober. So Goober had a good time recording that. We maybe played for like a half hour, and I edited it down to about that 12-minute video or so. Good times. He's quite the ham in front of the camera. Well, I guess behind the microphone in this case. But he does know the ways of entertainment. And he apparently watches my videos more than I knew, because that whole thing, I thought he accidentally threw the ender pearl. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna find out where I'm gonna end up. How do you know these things? Because I watch your videos. Oh. But yeah, here we are. We're back at the missile silo of perpetual incompletion. I need to... Those vines keep growing back, and I do not know why. Yes, I do keep pouring water on them. Oh yeah, something I didn't mention in the Goober video was we are in the 13W24B snapshot here on the MindCrack server. That is why those zombie and skeleton hordes gave us such a hard time. I've played around just testing out single-player worlds, and so I've experienced them myself. That is certainly going to change the dynamic of MindCrack Ultra Hardcore seasons to come. We were all worried about the skeletons, but it's perhaps the zombies that we now have to worry about. Where are some more of these? But yeah, basically what I want to do is, I remember I had an idea. I'm like, should I put a missile in here? Should I not? I was thinking I could do the insane, super duper, magical, king of the ladder, and I think that is what I would like to do. It's a little bit easier of a project. I don't know if anybody is ever going to play it. I know King of the Ladder, when you're just dealing with a ladder from normal build height, is kind of, it takes a long time to climb a ladder. It would be very convenient if I could get some sort of beacon. Is there a way, like, does speed or haste make you climb ladders faster? That would be kind of a cool thing to do, but I don't have access immediately to a beacon. I'm just, like, to clarify, trying to get rid of, there's just some few scraggling remains of, what are those things called? Vines. I had vines going all up and down this thing, and I don't want there to be vines, because then people can use that if they're falling. But I'm going to try. I have an idea in my head. I don't know how much I'm going to show. A lot of this episode is probably going to be just more organizational. And where was that other one? Oh, there's some on that side too. More kind of just organizing things and planning things. I do have a few things to talk about. Obviously, there was the Goober thing. I don't know. A lot of people are requesting Goober be a regular thing. I don't know. He's 6 years old. Goober has far more important things to worry about as a 6-year-old than continuously making YouTube Let's Play videos. And I'm certainly certain that his mother, my sister, probably doesn't want him to be too wrapped up in such a thing. But perhaps in the future, Goober will return for one thing or another. But yeah, apparently I've been told that Goober is constantly wanting his mom, my sister, and his grandpa, my dad. They can't go a minute without having to replay the video that he made, so sorry. Alright, well, I guess we've got most of those things down. I'll have to manually take down the ones that won't disappear. But here's my idea. I'm going to, instead of like doing a time lapse and saying, here's the finished project, I'm going to give you my ideas. The idea is having a central pole, I guess, ladder, go all the way up to build height. We're already at, as you saw, 107 with our feet position, or where we're located. So we're already on top of a mountain. And then all the way up to build height would be, what is that, up to 300 or something like that? Maybe I won't go up to build height. That might be a little bit overbearing. But have a central pillar going up here so that if you do fall, and you have plenty of time to try to get back on the ladder, but then there's also the hazard if you accidentally land outside the missile silo here, then you're going to die. So that should give some dramatic falls and things like that. But I would like to, in order to hasten, it would take forever to climb a ladder from what is basically the void down there, or bedrock down there, all the way to the top. So I'm thinking the start of the ladder, like the start of the playing field, like where people spawn, should be right here. And then I'll have 4 ramps, like little roads, and maybe like 1 or 2 pixels, 1 or 2 blocks of like a diving board, so that if you die, you say respawn in a bed right here, and then there's a stairwell that 1 on each side. So like say there's 4 players, 1 player spawns on each side, or more. Obviously, it's much more fun when you have more than 4 players. You have to jump from here and then grab the central pillar to go up. I think that's a really cool feature. I'd also like to, as a surprise feature, since you're not starting at the bottom, there's still going to be a little bit of a detrimental side effect if you do somehow fall all the way to the bottom. That behind the big good sign is a spider spawner. I'm thinking of making it so that the spiders flow out to the center, so that if you do fall down there, you'll be surrounded by a mass load of spiders. Also, I think it would be really cool if those spiders started to climb up the walls. So it's not just PvP that you have to worry about. The spiders climbing up the walls will try to attack you if you are below this level. I don't know, maybe they'll try to climb the central pillar too. That would be interesting. So we're going to try this out. I don't know. Like I said, this episode is probably going to be mostly organizational, mostly getting my thoughts and my materials together. As you saw, I have a bunch of mining tools and things like that. There's some chests here, a lot of beds. That's going to be helpful. Thanks, Beef. This was Vintage Beef's prank against me. I am going to need a ton of wood, so I think I need to like start growing a bunch of trees here. So I think I'll do that first, because obviously I only have 16 letters. Is not going to be enough, Kurt. So let's just drop off a bunch of this more, what I guess I could call important stuff. And then I will continue talking. So yeah, that's basically the gist of what I had to talk about the Goober episode. I once again appreciate, and I haven't talked to him since, but I'm assuming he is quite excited about the fact that his video was so popular. I'm sure he doesn't quite understand, just like everybody in the comments was like, oh, he's so lucky getting to play on the MindCrack server. I know a lot of you guys would really love to play on the MindCrack server, but he certainly had fun. Indeed. All right, I think that's probably a good place to start. There's a bunch of blocks downstairs too, so I have a lot of building blocks to work with. My Unbreaking 1 diamond axe is going to break, ironically, so anyway, yeah, let's collect a bunch of trees, and then we'll plant a bunch more. And while we're doing that, where are we at for time? 13 minutes, we're good. I can start with my next topic. I would like to clarify the last episode of MindCrack, official episode, Pigoo Mountain Range. Yep, there's a Pigoo there. There's a Pigoo. The last episode, I kind of mentioned how I was first, obviously, going to be going on a little bit of a trip. Not a trip, what's the word I'm looking for? A vacation. I get those two confused. I should say, I should be like a European and call it a holiday. So confusing. Went on a little bit of a break away from videos. But I also mentioned how that's going to give me time to kind of rethink my YouTube strategy, and the vast majority of you understood and supported my decision to do such a thing. I kind of mentioned, basically, as a rundown, I mentioned how a few months ago, maybe in May, I said I would like to do a similar thing where I'm like, I'm going to make like a personal schedule and try to stick to it, because one of the biggest problems I have is being consistent and predictable with my videos, which, first of all, I'm sure isn't the best technique for for video making, and also for keeping a consistent audience, but also just in terms of my own productivity and whatnot. it would help for me to be a little bit more consistent, I guess. And I made a private kind of schedule just for myself. I didn't want to publish the schedule, as I've said many times before. I've seen many YouTubers publish their schedules and then fall behind on it, and then they get berated for not keeping up with their schedule. It's Tuesday, where's my Farlands or Bust? Or, you know, whatever. So I didn't want to do that because in the end I was unable to keep with my schedule. And that obviously was not the desired outcome. But in the last video I said how that schedule of mine hinged. It hinged on series. It hinged on having multiple series. Oh, I get an apple here. I never get one in Ultra Hardcore. 2 apples. Good grief. It hinged on series. And basically literally the schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Friday at prime time, Farlands or Busts. Tuesday or Thursday, Kerbal Space Program, and then, you know, in the morning times, alternating days, Tomb Raider, and then the other alternating days, I was supposed to find a replacement for my Dirt series, which is what I was looking for in Euro Truck Simulator, or those flight simulators I was looking for. Where's this guy? Oh, there are some openings. Oh, come on, be nighttime. So it basically fell apart because I basically solely depended on series and then when things like Ultra Hardcore popped up, that totally threw my schedule for a loop. I did not anticipate that thing, and it didn't leave me any room for the incidental one-off videos, you know, that I like doing, featuring an indie game. You know, the Kairos, what were the other videos that I played? Excuse me. Anyway, yeah, I'm basically repeating all of what I said in the last episode. Anyway, some people were concerned that they misunderstood that perhaps I was going to ditch series altogether. And just go, see, look at this. The water did nothing. The goggles, they do nothing. Oh, the spiders are already spawning. So that's not the case. I'm just saying how I'm not 100% depending on series. I'll obviously still have series like Farlands or Busts, like MindCrack. And even, you know, there will definitely, if I find a new game that is series worthy, I will make a new game, a series, you know, something that is more, you know, episodic, if you will. What should I make the pillar out of? I feel like smooth stone would look pretty good against, you know, with ladders on it. You know, I could make it out of something ultra durable like obsidian, but that would just take forever and a day to make, wouldn't it? So, ooh, what sword is that? Bane of Arthropods, of course. No wonder I left it behind. I don't think it's ever been a problem in King of the Ladder where the tower accidentally gets destroyed, you know? I don't think that's ever been a problem. So yeah, I think smooth stone is the way to go. Obsidian would just be too much, right? I should ask Beige how to harvest so much obsidian. Oh yeah, I have plenty of smooth stone. I was going to end up smoothing out the entire walls of the missile silo, but I don't think that will be necessary. It'll be too much of a hassle, being as I'm having a hard enough time just getting rid of all the stinking, what's that stuff called? Vines. Alright, so I feel like I don't want to lose the light from that piece of lava there. So maybe the first block should be glass, which of course I left all my glass upstairs. Please be like a piece of glass here. Dang it! Oh, I should probably put the iron away too. That's a good idea. Wait, where did I? My valuables. There. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know if I made that sound not right, or I just am not good at explaining what I meant. But yeah, I'm still doing series things. So basically, to be honest, nothing really is going to change. It's just my official approach. I'm going to go all the way back upstairs just for a single piece of glass. Well done, Kurt. Well done. Yeah, not much is changing. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things. As you could probably tell, I've had yesterday had 2 videos. I had a whatchamadoozit episode of Euro Truck Simulator and a Far Lands or Bust, but on and off I've only had 1 video a day or so it's kind of hard once you come back from not making videos to then get back a stockpile of videos to upload, you know, so working on that. Hopefully this MindCrack episode makes up for a little bit of that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to testing out new games. I've already got a few in the hopper to just have one-off kind of review, look at, sneak peek, first impressions of, you know, fun little goofy games. So look forward to that. But yeah, it's been about 20 minutes or so. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, hopefully I will not be as misguided in my building abilities as I am, and maybe I'll join you when I'm back, when I'm at the top of the build height with the entire tower here for the King of the Ladder. So I will see you after these words from our sponsor. Alright guys, welcome back, and as you can see, we are in orbit here. Haha, this is pretty insane. I am going to need a lot of ladders. But yeah, we are at about 2 blocks beneath the world height limit. We're at 253. I'm not sure. That's always it's still like midday and you can see the moon rising. This is one of the things with King of the Ladder. I always am concerned about what to do with the top. I mean, classically, it should just be the 1 block, and the person who makes it to the top should just have to defend himself from here. But I always wonder if it's a good idea to maybe put a couple blocks on the outside that you could potentially jump to defend yourself. Kind of, you know, a risk versus reward thing. Like maybe put it 3 blocks away. What's the limit for sprint jumping? 3 blocks? Like 3 empty blocks and then the block you can land on? Like maybe put a few blocks out there. So if you're skilled enough and you make it to the top and you want to defend yourself, you can potentially jump to one of those blocks. But if you miss, you've just thrown away all of your efforts. But yeah, let's try. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is crazy. Let's just see how long it takes to fall down. I'm going to have to throw an ender pearl on the outside here. Get out of the way, Cloud. I want to actually see where I'm going. Geronimo. Oh God. Oh man. That was frightening. All right. So that is our King of the Ladder tower. Let's go to sleep. Make a day. Make a day. I do need to also, the other topic for this episode of the MindCrack server, to Berber, is Ultra Hardcore Season 11. Still going on, no spoilers. I don't know what happens, to be honest with you, so I'm trying not to be spoiled myself. Because well, spoilers if you haven't watched it and you're still waiting to watch it, what the heck, but obviously, I did not win. In episode 5, myself and BOO had an epic battle against each other, and we ended up getting killed but we got him down to half a heart. So that was cool. It's a good season. I'm still here was the gist. It was singles, and it was all day, every day. No, it was all daytime. The sun never set, and it was based on the suggestion that I think Beef came up with it. That you know, the problem we have is that everybody's so scared to go out at nighttime because you don't want to take stupid mob damage. You want to save it up for getting into PvP and winning that way. So people usually, when the night falls, they hide underground and stuff. So we figured we make it all day, every day. People won't be afraid to go outside. Also, that conversely makes it a little bit more difficult and dangerous to go caving, because when there's no mobs spawning, I think, when there's no mob spawning on the surface ever, the mob cap is going to take place underneath. So that was kind of a trade-off with that. Of course, my problem, I'm still a little bit undecided about it. I mean, I think it's good regardless. It was a good season, and I like that we constantly change it up. That way, it kind of gives, there remains to be interest in the series when we switch it up, and it's not just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But it also makes it so that there are certain players maybe who, if we just did the same format over and over and over again, they could, they could be narrowing down and finding the ultimate and perfect techniques and strategies and have it down to a science. I'm looking at you, Etho, and that way, for the people who might not be as gifted in those ways, be a little bit of a disadvantage, and it would really end up just becoming a boring series if... Oh, hello. Did this thing just instantly grow? That's weird. Or was this already here? I don't remember. So yeah, that I like that aspect of it, and I certainly appreciate that we always mix it up. I'm going to need so much more wood than this. What was I going to say? The format, though, I had a little bit of a problem with it because I used the nighttime, the day-night cycle to indicate, okay, I should be caving now. And I kind of took my strategy a little bit too far in the direction of, well, since it's never going to be nighttime, I'm never going to cave. Sucks to be me. That way, it was a major disadvantage because then I never was caving long enough to get any... Obviously, most importantly, gold in order to be able to heal myself, but then also I wasn't able to get any... I got some, but not enough diamonds to enchant, and that's kind of the current, I suppose you could call it, strategy, is to enchant your items and get your advantages via enchanting. Obviously, people are going to enchant their weapons, so to counter that, you need to enchant your armor. And since people are enchanting their armor, your weapon needs to be further enchanted than you normally would. So it's kind of just an escalating arms race. And without that, you're kind of left at a disadvantage. But I still had fun. It was an interesting technique. I was kind of trying to depend on the fact that... I'm going to need to move these chests. Trying to oh my god, depend on the fact that I would find my resources by finding the structures and hidden, items like the pyramids and spawners and things. I think I got so lucky in the previous season finding that sharpness 5 thing. I was hoping, I would find another dungeon and there would be something as amazing in there. Didn't turn out to be, unfortunately, but yeah, that was... an interesting technique, and that's one of the things. By switching up the format every season, you have to kind of switch up your technique, and it's kind of interesting to experiment. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't, maybe this is a good idea or a bad idea. We won't know until we try, sort of situation. So that it's a good season. I guess to kind of run down how things went, I need the chests. The chests! The chests. I need the chests. Give me the chests. It's like right beneath me. Give it to me. Oh my gosh. Chests! I need the chests. Chests. Just getting the cobble. There we go. There should be 2 here somewhere. Okay, there we go. So that was fun. My traps didn't work, obviously, because I didn't know how to make them very well. I set traps in one of the villages and then sprung the trap myself. Good job, Kurt. And then in one of the pyramids, which Milby found, and I was actually... Oh, you can't do that. I'm quite surprised how... Well, I'm not surprised. There's a lot about the game that I have no familiarity with. The potions and enchanting and you know, the end and the nether and things like that. So I guess I can't be too surprised when other people like Zisto and Milby had no idea how the pyramid worked. And, you know, where the goodies in the pyramid work and the traps and things like that. So... that was kind of funny to see. And then, of course, I'll go down with the encounters. My first encounter with Baj is quite accidental. And yes, I realize, you backseat ultra-hardcore players, I realized that with my diamond sword, he had like 2 hearts. I could have killed him pretty much in one swing. But I kind of found it a lot more entertaining and a lot more interesting to have our little creepy... sneaky around diggy hole fights, you know, where I was trying to find him in the walls, and I had no idea. That was really awesome how I turned that corner and he was literally 1 block away from me, hidden in the walls, and I just turned the corner and didn't even give it a second thought. I think I glanced back at the block he was behind, like momentarily, but I didn't end up doing anything about it, so that was really cool. It's things like that that are really funny, and from that we got the... Since he was living in a spider spawner, I knocked out one of the torches, and then one of the spiders attacked him. And I'm like, haha, that spider is my own minion. So that was quite funny indeed. Let's put these down here, and I'm sorry, I don't do very good with the building episodes, obviously, so that's why we have me just running back and forth arranging items. Pretty much the same as episode 45, isn't it? Woo! The most exciting Let's Play series in the world. Alright, let's do this. So yeah, Ultra Hardcore was fun. I kind of do wish I did end up chasing after Baj instead of letting him get away, but I was too concerned about the fact that I didn't have a bow. And I was trying, at that point, I was starting to realize that maybe this technique of not going caving is not the technique to go with, maybe. I don't know, perhaps my lack of a bow is an indication of that. Oh, I have bones. I should use this to grow the trees. So that's why I decided to go back and get, you know, well, there's a spider spawner there, I might as well get the string so I can make a bow and then go after him, but whatever happened. And I find it funny... Moving on to the final battle with BOO. I don't know who made the connection or not, but I notice how, in a lot of people's perspectives, throughout the entire season, they maybe start out, for whatever reason, very concerned about one aspect of the game that perhaps they were never concerned about before until that season. And for me, I kept mentioning, throughout the entire season, I kept mentioning how I was, I'm going to move my bed over here. How I didn't like traveling through these dense forests. Because all this is, you know, even though I don't know that it really ever happened to me in an Ultra Hardcore, I'm like, oh, this is, you know, this is where, oops. You know, forests are bad because you could just accidentally run into somebody And then that would be the end of you. You know, you turn a corner and you're face to face with somebody. For whatever reason, I was very concerned about that this season, and lo and behold, that is what actually ended up happening. It was very no intention to it, but it was a lot of a premonition right there. Sorry, I'm going to make a little bit of a hidey hold so I can actually sleep without worrying about being creepered upon. You know, I'm running through the snow forest, and boom, there's B-double-O. You know, exactly what I've been worried about the entire season happened right then and there. Bloop. Oh yeah, this takes multiple times now. Bloop. Bloop. And that fight, that was probably... I had been getting used to doing team battles and team strategies. You know, oh, you can distract and flank people. You really... That all goes out the window when you're doing free-for-all because you're just by yourself. And one of my problems that I had with that fight is I kept losing B-double-O. It seemed that his strategy was after an encounter to kind of hold still, hide in a tree or something like that, regain health if you have a golden apple, and then kind of look around and wait for them to enter your sight. Whereas my strategy was run around like a madman, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, you know, try to find them that way. And that ended up, you know, making for interesting, you know, we would get into some battle, we would exchange arrows, and then I would keep running, and then I would lose them in the snow because it was white, and you lose the people in iron armor in the snow. And then at that point, he would hold still. And I would run around thinking he's running around, and well, we're going to run into each other again. Obviously, that's got to happen. So, very interesting strategies. That was one of my favorite kind of battles that we had. It really reminded me a lot of, obviously, Season 3, when I got to the final 2 with Good. Me and Good were battling it out in the snow forest, and he was holed up, staying still on the top of that tree, shooting at me, and I was running around like a madman trying to figure out where he was and where the arrows were coming from. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like that battle so much. Not only did it just not end instantaneously like most ultra-hardcore battles do, you know, one person has the drop on somebody and then just, you know, 3 or 4 hits of a enchanted sword and the other person's dead. This one was very elongated, and then... you know, I was able to pull back and try to regroup, but that really didn't work, unfortunately. And then he got the drop on me. His that was a very bold attack for him to take, a leaping attack at me to try to get that kill, and he certainly did. I don't know. A lot of people say if I had switched to my, whoa, God. To my sword, my diamond sword, I could have taken him out. But, you know, I was sitting there waiting for him. Once again, I had no idea where he was. I was waiting for him to show up, and I had my bow fully armed like this. You know, you kind of think you've been waiting like this for such a long time, you might as well, it's quicker to just let go of the bow as opposed to switch to your sword and then start swinging that way. So that was, I suppose that was probably my thought process with that, but it was a good fight. And of course, keep watching B-double-O's perspective. If you haven't seen his episode 7, that is probably one of, if not the best UHC moments in a long time. That is definitely going to come down in terms of the UHC amazingness happening. So, alright, I need to make a ton of sticks. No. And then turn them, how do you make ladders? Into ladders. Yes, I'll make one ladder that way. Oh, I'm going to need a lot more than that. Good grief. Maybe this wasn't the project I should have done. But yeah, Ultra Hardcore Season 11 still going on. Still check out the remaining, I think there's about 6 guys left? Can't remember. But I'm going to keep working on... Oh gosh, this is going to be insane. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to actually start right here, and if you fall down further, that's almost kind of like a penalty. But yeah, I'm going to continue working on this, and perhaps in the next episode I'll have a lot of progress. Can you put... No, you can't. Well, that's actually pretty good. I'll bring you back for additional progress. It might be easier just to make a pillar here and place 2 at a time, won't it? I don't know. Well, I'll continue working on this. Oh, yeah, tomorrow, by the way, just a quick mention. The fine folks at Spreadshirt wanted me to mention that tomorrow, June 21st, 2013, is International T-Shirt Day, so you can get free shipping on any orders at Spreadshirt using the code TDAY2013. That's at farlands.spreadshirt.com. A lot of the other MindCrack guys have Spreadshirt stores. You can go to Baj's Spreadshirt store to get a shirt with the official MindCrack logo on it. You get free shipping on that. You'll have to test yourself. A lot of times these codes are US stores only, unfortunately. So you'll have, whoa, okay. You'll have to check that out yourself. I didn't get too much input from the Spreadshirt folks myself, but hopefully it's more than just the US only, and you folks in Europe and the European stores can get your Spreadshirt on with free shipping tomorrow, June 21st, 2013. So I'll put links in the doobly-doo. The description is what that means. And we'll hopefully maybe finish another build here on the MindCrack server. The epic missile silo of King of the Ladderness now. Woo! Woo! Yeah, so thanks again. My name is Kurt. Oh god, we'll see you next time.